people, I don't see them around. I just been moving around. Yeah. I'll react if I had to. Put some things in the past too, and don't let them distract you, but react if you have to. I'll react if I had to. Put some things in the past too, and don't let them distract you, but react if you have to. Yeah. React if you have to. Yeah.
All right. We're on that 2-minute countdown. We're going to be starting at 9 p.m. 9 p.m., 2 minutes and counting. Let's go.
I'll react if I had to. Put some things in the past too, and don't let them distract you, but react if you have to. I'll react if I had to. Put some things in the past too, and don't let them distract you, but react if you have to. Yeah. React if you have to. Yeah.
This live stream is sponsored by NordPass, because only bitches do Patreon. All right, so check it out, guys. Right now, I'm partnering with NordPass this entire month. So anytime you use that link in the description or my code OriginalDobo, helps the channel out. Plus, you will receive 1 month free, 50% off your NordPass subscription. Links down below. Check it out.
All right. What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's doing really well. Welcome to the Wednesday night stream. This is drones, brews, and news. I don't know if I get this right or wrong every time, but I don't look at the thumbnail, I guess. But it's drones, brews, and news. I'm going to remember this yet. Got a lot of people in the chat. Holy crap, we've got 51 people. Either you guys are really bored or I don't know. Hopefully the audio is coming in good tonight. I tried to go ahead and retool it and fix it because a lot of you guys said the last stream the audio was pretty low, so I went ahead and tried to fix it the best I could. So if the audio is coming in nice and crisp, be sure to go ahead and drop a thumbs up in the comment section below, so I know you can hear me. All right, so let's what beer are we drinking tonight? This is a part beer, stream, right? So we've got a really big glass this time. I actually frosted it this time. And tonight's brew of choice is this. This is from a brewery. I don't know if we could pull focus on this. This is from Orange Blossom Brewery here in Florida. I don't know why that sounds like I'm drunk already. Orange Blossom Brewery. Fuck it. I can't say it. So this is a Pilsner. We're going to crack this open before we get started. Tonight, I have Zach, the owner of DroneWorks, on the stream. He's going to talk a little bit about some of the information that he's gotten from Autel in regards to the Evo 2 delivery dates, etc. We're also going to talk a little bit about his business, what he does, and whatnot. So like we always do, that doesn't really fill that up. That doesn't fill it up. So clearly I'm going to have to put more beer in this. So luckily we've got 2 of these. We come prepared. All right. Oh my goodness. So let's just add a little bit more beer to this so we can make it seem a little bit fuller, because this is a big glass. Probably about the end of the stream, I'm going to be destroyed. Oh, okay. That's pretty good. That's really good. That's not bad. I actually really enjoyed that. All right. So let's do like we normally do. And, let's go ahead. First things first, I guess I need to make sure I get Zach in the stream here. We'll call him, but we'll go ahead and greet everybody while I'm calling Zach on Skype. There you are. Cool. Stay with me, man. I know you probably can't hear me. I can't hear you either. Can you hear me okay?
Stand by.
Okay, cool. Just make sure you have your headphones on.
I do. I just got to change my shirt.
Okay. Yeah, put on something more appropriate, please.
You saw it?
Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and greet everybody in the chat here. So, wow, we got a lot of people to catch up with. We've got Eddie Nunez, June 215, Michael, Bibik, I don't even know how to fucking say it. Recovery Drone, Paul, what's going on, man? Rocco, let's go. Curtis Start, how's it going, man? We've got Brent Newman, RB, Bibik, I think I said your name already. Nick, Drone Addict, RB. You're good, Zach?
I am.
Oh, cool. All right. So we're just gonna roll right through this. We're gonna bring you in. So I'm gonna switch over to the interview scene. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Power of magic. Let's do this. And then pushing over. There it is. So you should be into the stream here now. Ladies and gentlemen, DroneWorks owner Zach Davis.
Hello.
Zach, thanks so much. I know you, like, we're basically neighbors now. So for you guys that don't know, Zach moved from New York to be down here. We got a shop now. So we've moved the entire operation down here. Zach, how did you start DroneWorks?
I built cell towers for 15 years prior to getting into drones. We were in Albuquerque. It was so hot you could walk down the street and your leg hairs would burn off of your legs from the cement.
That's disgusting.
So we were looking for a way to not have to leave the hotel room to get photographic evidence of our guys working on the towers. We had walked into a music store and they had a Phantom 1. So from there, I bought a Phantom 1. I took apart a home alarm to make FPV. We could stay in the hotel and in the AC and get the pictures and stuff we needed. And of course, it was all visual line of sight, of course. I actually was at an airport traveling home. I opened my case, and a gentleman named Mike Wedlin from 60 Minutes actually saw the drone and had us build one.
Hang on a second. Everybody's saying we're getting a echo. Stand by. I'm just going to switch host scenes. 1 second, guys. Let me see what's going on with this echo. Gotta figure out where that audio is coming in at. It's always sometimes what will happen when you're dealing with live streamer. Gotta reroute the audio. Let's take a look. So we got that audio in there. We got microphone there. We'll just do the broadcast stream. Let's see if this works. I don't know if this is going to make it or not. I don't know. We'll find out. All right, let's switch back over. Let me know if the echo keeps persistent. Is there still an echo now in this scene right now? Is there an echo? If there's not an echo in this scene, then it may just be the Skype scene. Hey, Zach, are you by any chance listening to the stream as well?
No.
Okay, and you got your headphones connected to what? You got headphones in?
Bluetooth. Yeah.
Okay, you got Bluetooth. Okay, and then there's no audio coming through the stream, right?
Correct.
Okay, let's try this again. Let's see.
Testes. 1, 2, 3 testes.
All right, let's see. All right, so just do me a favor. Give me some audio. I'm going to listen to the stream just really quick to make sure everything's okie dokie.
All right.
So just go ahead and talk. Tell me the story about the towers. Pick up where you left off there.
Well, we could just. So I'll just go back a little bit. So I built one of these kits. I was at the airport. I had to open the case. A gentleman from 60 Minutes saw it. He actually hired us to build them a few kits. They made a video, and after that, drone works was started, and we never went back to work. Are we echo free?
Yeah, so weird. We're still getting some echo through the stream with Skype. I'm not sure where that echo is coming from. It seems to be it's on your audio end, but I don't know exactly where that audio is coming through. Not really sure.
Speakers, hold on. Is that any better?
What'd you do? Move the speakers.
Turn my speakers down.
Yeah, turn your speakers off, actually.
I don't know.
You what you should do is take your audio and put it it could if you're listening to the stream at all on your end, then that will do it. So
I'm not.
Okay, so just have the audio going through your earbuds.
As it is.
Oh, it is.
We're good. No. Testes.
Let me see. I got to mute my mic to hear it because otherwise we'll get a reverb.
No problem. I've never done this before, folks. I apologize if it's me.
You know, it's honestly not that bad. If people can watch Drone X Factor's content, then they can handle a little bit of echo. Fuck it. Let's ship it. So you started up Albuquerque, right? Cell phone towers.
Yeah, we built Phantom 1s for and the gentleman from 60 Minutes actually saw us in the airport messing with it in a case. We built them a bunch. They made a video and sent it to all their friends and colleagues, and we built, I don't know, probably maybe 100 of those Phantom 1 kits. And then the following year, we built maybe 500 or 600 of the Phantom 2 kits. It was kind of the same thing when they came out.
Gotcha.
Except for it actually held a GoPro pretty well.
All right. And now, present day, you're down here in Florida, picking up operation. Obviously, everything sort of got halted a bit just because of everything that's going on in the world, right?
Correct.
So, question for you. So you're down here now. Obviously, a lot of people are here because they want to know, where the fuck is the Evo 2?
Great question. I had a call with Autel every day for the last week. Units are in the country. They're finishing their final Q&A, and they should be shipping any day now. These are the 8K only. The 6Ks have not arrived yet. It'll be probably 2 weeks for those and probably 3 weeks for the duals.
So 3 weeks out on the duals, 8Ks are they've shipped this week from Autel to their distributors.
Correct.
You got tracking info on that then?
Nope. They're supposed to ship this week. I haven't seen tracking yet, but it's 3 hours behind, so it's going to take any time. Should be any time.
So what is actually exactly going on there? Because I know we tried to get in the new VP of Autel on the stream to talk a little bit about it. Obviously, schedule conflicts, couldn't get him on, so you were able to have a conversation with him in regards prior.
Yeah, Gary's the actual president. He there was a little bit of restructuring that went on. I guess the best way to say it is they're trying to streamline everything they do, and make it easier for final distribution. You have other companies who have been doing it longer, and Autel decided that, you know what, like we do on our automotive side, we want to streamline and we want to do the same thing we do on the drone side as well.
Gotcha.
The changes that have been made, I think, are for the positive. They're actually listening to dealers like we do, as your listeners know. We do a lot of public safety, a little bit more so the consumer side. They're actually listening to what the public safety agencies are asking for. They're not assuming they know like it was kind of in the olden days.
Gotcha.
Which is a real great step forward,
now,
because all that stuff rolls back down on the consumer side as well.
It's safe to say that Autel China, the parent company, wasn't happy with the way things were being handled with the previous management at Autel.
That's what they're saying. Yeah, they just weren't happy with the progression.
Okay.
And it wasn't necessarily management. It was a lot. There was a lot of factors.
So what would you say is one of the biggest derivatives that they made such a large shakeup around the pivotal time where obviously you're looking to ship your flagship premier products? You just came off a massive announcement at CES. You now got the pandemic that is slowed shipping, and you let go your VP and the head of the media marketing all at once, one swift motion.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what was behind that. I will say that it was really unfortunate about the timing of everything, because keep in mind, a couple weeks prior to the pandemic was Chinese New Year. So traditionally, everything stops for Chinese New Year. They get 2 weeks off. The whole country stops. And as soon as that was over, then this started. And of course, the pandemic side of it that we're going through now, they already went through. And that butted up Chinese New Year as well. Now, I do know that there's a little bit of, I'll just say this. I have personally requested that the company in China that has gotten a hold of a couple Evo 2s and shipped them to our country, kind of stop that kind of action there, because I really feel like that if you're going to have a reputation in our country like they do, they have a great customer service reputation.
Right.
We know, as consumers, everything's handled out of Washington State. It should continue to be handled out of Washington State. You shouldn't be able to go into a internet forum and see this other company and buy there and receive your product before something from our country ships. It doesn't make
sense logistically. I know a lot of people have asked, okay, I'm looking in the forums, people are getting these drones in their hands. I mean, they're not widespread in people's hands, but obviously some people have received their Autel Evo 2 8K sooner than what B&H Photo can ship, sooner than, obviously, there's other distributors besides DroneWorks. You got Carolina Drones. You've got a bunch of them actually that are
Vertex,
out there.
Adorama.
Right. They're all sitting out there. They're all sitting out there on the main page for Autel as a preferred vendor. But then you have this company that's overseas that are able to ship the product to consumers so much faster. And it's sort of disappointing, because they have sort of touted themselves as an American company. But I'm hoping that with the new management, the new structure, and the new streamline, that they're able to prevent issues like this from happening, because it's just not a good look. It's not a good look on a company, and especially when you have egg on your face twice. You had the issues with the Autel Evo 1, and now you're sort of repeating history. And again, part of it's no fault of their own with the virus, but they sort of had a good window where they could have provided the right information, I think, anyways. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I agree. I will say that since the changes have happened, we're seeing tweets now. We're seeing, as a matter of fact, when the first issue came up with that other company in China, and there was a couple of posts on the official Autel page or whatever about that. Autel tweeted and said, "Hey, listen, our dealers don't have stock yet. This." There was some other dealers as well. I'm not going to mention any names that were touting, "Oh, we have stock. We're shipping now," which just wasn't the case. Screenshots have been posted or whatever, but it wasn't the case. And Autel came out and said, "Listen, we haven't shipped anything yet."
What is their delay? What is their dilemma on communicating efficiently? I feel like with them specifically, it takes them a while for them to actually just say what some of us already know, and they don't want that speculation to be present, but they're sort of lax on pulling the trigger, putting information out, onto the interwebs, just for all of us to know what's going on. Just a simple update. It's super easy to put out a Facebook post. Hell, you can even schedule them in most instances, but yet what I'm seeing is that they don't. They have sort of poor communication.
Yeah, I don't want to speak for them, but I would imagine, like, if I had to guess, and of course I'm totally guessing, I don't know, but if I had to guess, I would say maybe there's a social media approval process that happens, and it has to be approved from China or whatever. I mean, I don't know. I do know that I was very impressed with there was a slew of tweets, like 3 or 4 of them. It's just like, "Hey, these aren't being shipped yet. Relax, they're coming soon, whatever."
Right.
And then now you see every couple of days, you see a new video from Autel about, okay, this is how you bind the remote on the Evo 2, and this is
so
how
it's
you do your
basically indicating
setup.
that shipping is imminent at this point.
Correct.
I mean, it's going to end up in our hands now. Obviously, I think their production's ramped up. We've been able to see. I don't think they would put these videos out. I mean, they're not delirious, right? So
Correct.
they put these videos out, obviously, to educate buyers before they get them in their hands. I mean, what are we in April? So January, March. Well, January. God, obviously, I don't know how a calendar works. January, February, March, April. So we're 3 months behind 2 months behind the actual intended ship date. They said the end of February was when it was initially supposed to ship. I predicted that the 13th we would see them, April 13th, that week, somewhere in there, just because of logistics from coming from Seattle to the distributors, and if they do an effective rollout, meaning that when everybody gets their stock, they're allowed to release that product. So it's not like, okay, well, you got this person who's on this end of the country, and you got this person who's in Bothell.
Correct.
They release their stock first, and then this guy's still waiting. He has customers leaving him to go to them over there. You know what I'm saying? So just something to that effect is what I hope.
I think that your prediction is and has been absolutely accurate. I think that that's a fairly good prediction and of course it's speculation, but from the calls I've had and for what I believe, I think you're pretty accurate on that. I'll also say that, like, as a company, we are, just to kind of reward our customers for, hanging in there, because I know it's been a long time. We are going to probably add some DroneWorks swag or whatever in the box, so there'll be something for everybody as well.
Okay, well, that's pretty cool. Gary's the new VP of Autel Robotics. The person he took over for was Jeff, so now it's Gary. We actually got a chance to meet Gary at Commercial UAV, and at the time, he was the CEO of Autel Automotive North America.
Yeah, he's the president.
So he's the president of Autel
North America.
Yep. To me, it's it was a comfortable conversation because we're both automotive guys, and he sort of has, like, his gears are always seemingly turning. As we were in conversation, you can see that he was sort of analyzing the situation of things, and we were talking a lot of automotive stuff. But nice guy. I expect nothing but good things about him, and from him. So I think they're in good hands.
The guy's from New York. He doesn't BS. He kind of operates like the two of us do.
Right.
There's no BS. Something that's different about our store that's different about other stores. We don't BS you. If it's coming in a month, I'll tell you it's coming in a month. If it's going to be here in a week, I'll tell you it's going to be here in a week. If I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. Gary is very much the same.
A little more transparent.
He's very matter of fact. Oh, absolutely. And I will tell you that I have NDA, so I can't really say exactly what, but I've been made aware of other products that are in the pipeline or on the way, and there's really, really cool stuff coming. You being on the automotive side, those kind of pieces are similar to what's up and coming.
Okay.
They have the ability to make all the things that everybody wants just through putting these two pieces together. And the future's bright.
So I guess
I
I want
hope
to
as a
ask,
dealer I mean, how do I,
what's that?
like, I've heard you on this thing before, so I'm just going to say it. I really hope that everybody gets their shit together and gets in a real good groove, because there's just a ton of awesome new products that
Yeah.
are coming, and if we can figure out a way to distribute them appropriately and quickly, everybody will be really, really happy.
I agree. I think that's Autel's biggest Achilles heel is the distribution of the products. As to where like DJI has this incredible infrastructure that they built. They built a phenomenal foundation, but I think what a lot of people really forget is when DJI started, they didn't have this great infrastructure. They had crazy pre-order times and wait times, and you had to wait. And there was a lot of problems. There was a lot of problems with even getting your units serviced. It was a painful process, and a lot of people who have been flying for a long time, they remember that pain. So one thing I could say with Autel specifically is we really haven't had those types of growing pains specifically. Beer's hitting me. Glendo is asking, we've got a couple of questions in the chat that I want to address.
I can't
really
see
quick.
them.
Okay, well that's fine. I'll read them off to you. So Thomas O'Sullivan asks, does DroneWorks ship to Ireland? If so, roughly how much is shipping? Because Autel is not doing a international release, right? Is that my understanding?
Absolutely. Richard Gilmore is the first person I shipped Evo 1 to in Ireland. Through him, we learned how to ship appropriately to Ireland. We learned how to ship quickly to Ireland. And we have a couple little tricks up our sleeve with that. Shipping's usually with a rug, and it's about $100 US. However, we kind of do something special to make up for that high rate of shipping. It's what it is. We don't make any money on shipping ever. We always either split or charge you exactly what it costs us.
Gotcha. Okay, that's fair enough. Glemmo asks, is there any sort of Autel smart controller down the pipe? Because from my understanding and talking to a couple of different people, the controller that we have on the Evo 1 will also work on the Evo 2. It's the same exact controller. They will bind just the same.
That I'm not sure. As a matter of fact, you know what? When you get over to the shop tomorrow, let's try.
Okay, we will do that. I'm assuming that means we have an Evo sitting at the shop.
Well, we have the dual.
Okay, perfect. Well, then we'll give it a go.
It's actually here. If anybody wants to see like batteries up close or whatever, I can go grab it real quick. It's not far away. Those controllers feel the same. The lift floor mount actually works.
Yeah,
on
it works
both.
the same. From best of my knowledge,
I
it's
just
the same.
don't know if the guts are the same.
Right.
I will tell you, at 2.5 or 3 miles out, of course, with visual line of sight, there's no lag, there's no delay. Everything's really, really crisp, and it seems to me like there was something that's different now between the old Evo and the Evo 2.
Yeah, I noticed when we were flying it, I mean, me personally, I was getting less breakup than I would get pushing it out far. I mean, obviously we were in the desert, and I pushed it out pretty far over nothing, so it didn't really bother me at all. And I had no issues, but there was not really any wireless there. So it's going to be interesting to try in more congested areas. So as far as a smart controller for the Evo, we don't know. I mean, anything's possible. I mean, they hold quite a bit of patents. I know we saw a controller patent, but it never actually made its way to CES. And you know what? I'm okay with the fact that they didn't show it off at CES, because it would be one more thing that somebody would be expecting right now. You know what I'm saying? They would be expecting it right now. And if it couldn't be delivered right now, it's just another disappointment. So hopefully the timetable that Autel is on right now is able to be maintained, and hopefully we don't have any more delays, because it looks like a phenomenal product across the board. Now the 6K, when are they expecting the 6K?
6K should be about 2.5 or 3 weeks out from what we're hearing. Can I address this Jose Dominguez real quick?
Yeah. Who is that?
Okay. Autel. What do you say here? Autel is garbage any way you look at it. Always trying to copy DJI. Let me just tell you, sir. If you go to the lawsuit that was filed, you can actually see that DJI tried to copy Autel's prop adapters. So when you come into a forum such as we're in right now, you should probably have your facts straight and bring them with you at that time as well, because you're absolutely incorrect.
So I think there's a fair amount of biotech copying that goes on in the drone industry. just in general. I mean, we see it across the
Sure.
board. You know, Parrot.
Look at
Well,
look at
not
pizza.
so much Parrot. Pizza.
Look at pizza. Domino's and Papa John's. The box is square. The pizza is round.
Okay.
Sure, they look the same. They don't taste the same. It's just like Ford and Chevy, Autel and DJI.
Yeah. I mean, you know, the reality is that how different can you make something that flies unless you take off two of the props? Well, then it never ships. There's my one thing, you know, hey, anytime we're dealing stuff, you know, with any sort of product that comes from
China,
you're going to have to deal with this type of stuff. The people are going to copy. They all copy.
Absolutely. So my apologies. I think I figured out what this echo is.
What's that?
On these AirPod Pros or whatever on my phone, I can turn off the noise cancellation. On this computer, I cannot.
Ah, okay.
I think that's what the issue is. So if it's really annoying to people, if you guys let me know, I can just go swap. I got other headphones.
I didn't. They've said that they said that they've dealt with the echo, so we'll leave it be.
Again, it's probably my bad. I apologize.
So
I'll be better next time.
I mean, you know, it's one of those things. Your first stream, it's your first go, so we'll have to, you know, the idea is, you know, in normal world we would be sitting at the shop and we would set all this stuff up at the shop and we would just do it there, and so there would be we would have two mics. This wouldn't be an issue, but obviously with social distancing and stuff, we can't do that. So is what it is. We'll just make do. So Evo 2 AK later on down the road.
Correct. The cameras are absolutely interchangeable. The videos you see is absolutely correct. We don't have pricing yet. People always also are asking when are they going to be available. So being a smart guy, I think that it would not be in Autel's best interest or any company's best interest to just make these cameras available now. I think they'd rather sell a bunch of drones.
Right, they want to sell drones. They don't want people buying one drone and then buying the. I get you, because it would deplete their sources. Would you mind going to grab the dual? We got some people that want to go ahead and see that.
Yeah, no problem. If you could continue talking, I could probably hear you.
Alrighty. All right, so we'll flip back to this scene until Zach is back.
Oh, I can hear you. We're good.
Yeah, no, I know you can hear me. I'm just flipping back over to this scene until you got the drone. Gotcha. So. No, nobody broke anything. People said their audio thought it was broke. No, it's just AirPods. What are you going to do? So he's got the dual, so let's go ahead and see what this thing looks like.
So, and again, another big difference between Autel and DJI or any other company. DJI never said, "Hey, go ahead and take this $10,000 drone and go to all your departments that you service and let influence whoever you want. Just let them see it and mess with it or whatever." That was never said.
So I guess I want to also pick your brain as to what makes this drone specifically $10,000, because I know when we did that video, you know, we didn't really do a good job of really elaborating the specifications on it. So tell me a little bit about this camera that's on the dual.
So this camera is it's a Bosun FLIR 640 by 512. There you go. This camera, basically, there's not any other thermal cameras you can put on a drone that have more resolution than this does.
Okay.
This is comparable to. With the exception of radiometric, this is comparable to the XT2 that DJI has on the Big Birds.
So let me ask you the question: what's the reason why they did not include radiometric on there? They don't have
because of the size of the sensor.
Okay, so the size of the sensor is the reason why they did not include radiometric.
Yep, she's little.
Okay, so I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, well, they don't really have any other competing lines, you know what I mean? It's not like they have an M210 that they have to, you know, worry about cannibalizing. So not having radiometric, it just didn't make sense. But I guess, okay, a sensor size, but Autel doesn't have any say in that. That's FLIR.
Correct. This is and again, this product's only available in our country due to ITAR. ITAR says anything over 30 hertz with a 640 resolution, any 30 hertz, sorry, can't be exported.
Okay.
I don't know if Fleer's going to get into the game of X. I mean, it's basically meant to keep these out of non-friendly countries.
Gotcha.
I don't know if if Autel's going to get into the ship out of the country thing.
With the thermals.
DJI had issues with it. Fleer themselves had issues with
Okay,
it
so
before.
it's Fleer.
Yeah, as far as I know, I think these are only in the USA, and there's only a few dealers that are allowed to sell them.
So Chris Hilton's right. He says boson radiometric doesn't exist yet. Fleer is working on it.
Yes, absolutely correct.
So there you go. But you know what's good about this drone? You know, here's the kicker with this drone. Because the gimbal is modular, if Fleer does decide to get something like that together, Autel could technically retrofit another gimbal for that unit, for that airframe.
Absolutely. So with the XT2 on DJI, you can't physically see or feel the difference between the two cameras.
Gotcha.
So if they were to make a radiometric version, all you would have to do is just Autel could just easily swap the cameras out.
Yeah, I think
like
that was
in
a
the
big
case.
deal.
Yeah. So this here, basically, you just take this apart and swap out the camera. I mean, it's a good solid unit. And the other thing too that a lot of people don't realize is this also has the 8K sensor as well.
Right. So that's essentially an 8K drone with a thermal image and sensor as well. And I know when I flew that, I thought I was really impressed with the resolution of the thermals coming off that, because I was so used to what I got off the Enterprise Dual. And I was sort of like, it just didn't have the same vibrancy. But when we got a chance to play with it and go do some site scans, I was really impressed. You know, obviously SANS radiometrics, who would use that? Like, what is that drone specifically geared for? If somebody's like, I want a thermal Autel drone.
Well, the radiometric is for like engineering side. If you're going to go do roof inspections or solar panel inspections or anything of that nature, you need the radiometric to actually measure the temperature data. These here are kind of more focused at agriculture, like counting cattle, looking for lost animals, search and rescue, public safety, fire. These are things that don't need that radiometric. It's basically just to see, hey, what have we got going on here? We're looking for a heat source, we're looking for a person, or we're looking for a hot spot on a roof so we can make sure our firemen don't fall in.
Right.
Or a propane tank. We're trying to see if there's propane tanks on the property.
So if I had to compare that to anything, we would have to compare it to like a camera that is not capable of shooting raw. Like for me as a photographer, I want a camera that shoots raw because I can do so much more with that data after I get it back to my editor. Somebody who's a thermographer, they want to take that back to their software so they can analyze the heat signatures coming off of whatever it is that they scanned, and they're not able to do that, but they can get a generalized idea, I'm assuming.
Correct. That's absolutely what it is. It's just the actual temperature data versus just the colors you see on the screen.
A question that we have in the chat, it's Nicholas says, how long does it take to swap a camera on the Autel Evo? Is it easy? Is it hard? I know it's somewhat simple on the Mavic 2, but it does take a little bit of tact.
It's 4 screws in about 10 minutes, 5 minutes, about 5 minutes. The only issue is, and I don't want to give anything away about the shop. We're going to make this easier for you. The only issue is the real small little screws if you're in the field.
Okay.
You could lose them easily. We're going to fix that for you.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say about that. We're going to make it nice and easy.
We're going to make it a little bit easier to hot swap cameras. Well, not hot swap it, but swap cameras easier. Okay. I'm down. I'm down for that. So, and I know a lot of people that buy. Somebody asked, when are we going to be getting the Falcon V-copter in stock?
Listen, I want to fly one really bad. Like, I can't.
It's never
think
coming.
Of a drone I've ever wanted to fly more than that. Actually,
it's never coming, man. It's never ever coming ever.
Yeah. So it was really funny. I'm good friends with a gentleman that works for DJI. I'm not going to say his name, but a group they asked, "Hey, how is that V-copter?" And he said, "Look great sitting on the shelf." And that was pretty much that's the deal.
That's the deal.
But I'd love to fly one.
Romeo, no, the Evo 2 is not delayed any longer. Actually, their stock is here in the States. So now the whole question is, when will Autel get these shipments sent to their dealers? And if you missed the stream earlier or you're just getting here, supposedly stock is being sent to their dealers this week. So If you have an order in, you may get shipping confirmations from your dealers next week. They're supposed to be doing a rollout that is, I would say, synchronized, harmonized, whatever whatever
synchronized
want to
is
call
probably
it.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like an even playing ground kind of launch thing,
Right.
With the exception of the China company. Everybody will get them and say, okay, we're going to launch today, and your dealers already have them, and you're getting tracking now.
Right.
And then we're allowed to hit the button and send you guys tracking.
Gotcha. So a recovery drone says, what dock are they sitting on? Hey,
No,
that's the $1 million question, man. That's a $1 million question, but we should see them. Like I said, we should get shipping confirmation. They wouldn't be teasing us with all these videos and the tutorials. I mean, they're smart, right? They're in business to be in business, obviously. So they're going to make sure that they have all their ducks in a row. And again, if you missed what we were saying before, if you just joined the stream late, I said this before in another episode. Autel fired their previous vice president. They have a new gentleman who's actually been the president of Autel Automotive of North America. He's taken over, very aggressive. He's aiming to get this rollout completed before the end of the month.
Mr. Leonard, I don't believe I said anything bad about any DJI products. We're making comparisons.
Who's that? Where's that? Where is this?
Lon Denard.
Oh, Lon Denard. So Lon is a DJI disciple.
Oh,
he's okay.
Yeah, bro, I didn't say anything bad about DJI, man. I mean, everything's Ford, Chevy. They're just different.
It's okay.
However,
he is a DJI
I will tell
disciple.
you that I have a $10,000 drone here that is just as useful as a $30,000 M210. So I mean, that's not bad. That's just comparison.
It's fine. It's Lon. This is what we expect from him. It happens. No,
I don't know that, dude. I know lots of these names though from the, which is pretty cool actually.
Good old Lon.
Hey, Greg, the rugged bundle for the dual ships with the hub and a car charger. The rugged bundle for the regular 8K and 6K, I do not believe do.
What's that for the rugged bundle? So that's right, for the batteries, because it only comes with 2 batteries.
The hub.
Oh, the hub.
Yeah. So the hub, I don't think it's going to be included.
Gotcha.
I would love to make a deal with our customers that have hung on through this and do something about that. So if you're interested in the hub, just stand by and we'll probably fix something.
Yeah, I'm sure we can get some.
Do something for you.
Get some stuff in. Cool Brother asked, good evening, gentlemen. How would you rate the build quality of the Evo 2? It's a good question. How would you rate that?
This is different than Evo 1. This is, the plastic is different. It's more robust. It's stronger. I think it's more durable. The gimbal setup,
the gimbal 100%. I'll tell you, the gimbal looks so much better. I mean, the gimbal sort of looks like a Mavic 2 design, though, if you think about it.
It's got points of contact, though. Back here, which is where you unscrew to pull the thing out, it's just really solid. It's not butter metal either. I mean, it's solid. It's good aluminum. I mean, this is really, really good aluminum. It's not like pot metal like you see on some of the other gimbals.
Right.
The build quality is really, I like it a lot. The cool thing too is these batteries are kind of heavy. This drone is absolutely
the drone is pretty heavy,
weightless with no battery.
Yeah. With the battery, it's pretty heavy though.
Without, she's pretty. It's you wouldn't believe actually. But as far as build quality, I think they knocked it out of the park. There's really
what's the milliamp hours? That's what we're at. 4,500 milliamp hours on that.
These are 7. Hold on. These are 7,100 82 watt hours.
So Peter Guava asks, where is DroneWorks located? We are located in beautiful Spring Hill, Florida. We don't have a physical.
Florida.
Yeah, we don't have a physical location you can walk into. It's a warehouse because all of our traffic is internet, and we're in the process of building a studio. So
the only local traffic we have so far is Mr. Barrington. So other than that, we don't have any other local traffic.
Yeah, but we'll allow it for him. We'll allow it for Mike. But that's it. Whoa, thank you, man. Randy, really do appreciate it. Definitely appreciate that, Randy. Let's throw up the old
Heavier than Mavic 2. Actually, I think it's a little bit lighter. Until you put the battery in, then it's a little bit heavier, but it's almost twice the battery.
Yeah. What did you?
So I will weigh those. I have a scale. I'll weigh those and let you guys know.
Yeah, we should. Matter of fact, that'd be a good idea to go ahead and weigh those. I want to ask your opinion on something because a couple of weeks, I think it was like maybe 2 weeks ago, a gentleman in Sweden got his drone and crashed it one night. It obviously it hit pretty hard. What did you make of that? I mean, that's to be expected with probably anything that takes an impact such as that.
So aircraft are meant to fly; they're not meant to crash. The problem is I never saw like a carcass from the guy. Did he ever show it when it was crashed?
I think he did. He did show it was pretty beat up. It was pretty beat up.
I'll have to go back and look.
I have to watch it again to really understand how far it fell. But I mean these things are, they're plastic essentially. They're going to break. I mean, it's going to be expected.
Oddly enough, though, when Evo 1 came out, I brought Autel to a demo with the state police in Texas, and one of the officers he had no business even operating a remote control for a television, much less a drone. Smacked a tree, the thing hit the ground, and we took right off again. So there is a level of durability that you can expect, and she's solid. Like the arms are solid, nothing wiggles. I mean, it's also put together in a way that it's easy to switch this stuff. I mean, your bottom plate comes off.
Right. So if somebody wanted to do repairs themselves, they could technically repair certain aspects of it themselves.
Absolutely.
Let's see. We got a comment in here. Make Moves TV ask, does it come with a loudspeaker for 10K?
Not yet, but I'm hoping they add one soon. Those are great to fly around New York City and scream at people.
I was almost waiting for you to go there, but since you did, what did because I know Matt, your brother-in-law, he's in law enforcement. You've got a pretty heavy military and law enforcement background as well with what you do with drones. What's your opinion on that? Was that something that you would do for the good of the people, or what do you think of that? I really wasn't like angered, or I wasn't like, oh, this guy's a dope, until like he filmed himself in the car, flying from the car, no line of sight, no nothing, like completely illegal on video. Like, listen, I've been flying RC planes since I was 12, so I've been doing this a long time. I get it. I like to fly FPV. Before all these rules or whatever, we'd put a camera on a plane and fly a mile in the air, fly around and have, look at clouds and cloud surf and blah, blah, blah. But dude goes on video and hides in the back seat of a car, so it makes it look like, maybe you shouldn't be doing this. Right.
And, as far as telling people to social distance, yeah, whatever. It's kind of a Casey Neistat kind of thing. But I don't know. I think the worst part is I think the odds of him having a fine are about the same odds as Carol Baskin getting arrested for killing her husband. So it's probably right about in that area.
Holy crap, that's an analogy. But you're right. There's not going to be any fines levied. I mean, he's going to be totally fine. It's just a bad example. And the reason why I brought that up and I said it in my video is because people are like, what's the harm in that? What's the harm in anybody doing that? And the harm in that is the copycats. And people are like, well, who's going to copy that with a microphone? But then I look at YouTube and I see how many people have a video up of them delivering toilet paper with their drone, right? So it started with one person doing it, and now many people have videos of them delivering toilet paper with their drone. We've seen it probably over 100 times. Which is a noble cause. That's a noble cause. You have to wipe your ass. Ass.
However, when you're flying around with a loudspeaker yelling at people, I think it puts a negative stigma on exactly what that drone was meant to do.
I think if he wanted it, holy shit, Michael, thank you very much. We do appreciate that very much.
Wow, thanks, man.
I think if he wanted a better effect, he probably should have had it stream in Pornhub. You probably would have got people in their houses quicker if you would have just had something like that on there. I think that would have worked. Absolutely. I think that would have worked better. Michael, thank you very much, man.
I will also tell you, the just so people know, the reason that was invented is it's a public safety piece, and someone's drowning or somebody's lost, you can fly over and say, hey, listen, we see you, we'll be there in a minute, take care. At least you can comfort somebody while someone tries to get there. It wasn't meant to fly around and yell at people or anything like that, though. I mean, hey, listen, I'm sure it's fun. I can think of a lot of cool stuff to do with that, and we haven't done it,
Right.
but I think it just creates a negative stigma, and people that do things like that are why they come up with rules so that we can't.
Right. I had the Mavic 2 Enterprise in my hands, and both of us have that drone still today. And I know when we first got it, the thought crossed our minds to do something stupid like that. And then we started when we started storyboarding the video, we were just like, we think about okay, well, how is this going to be perceived? And now today, with everything that's going on with remote ID, I want it no part of that. Drone Addict asks, hey Ken, will you do a dance for $30? I don't know if I'll do a dance, but I may show a tit. I don't know. I'm cheap. Yeah. So I mean, I'm glad we didn't do anything like that. I'm glad we evaluated the pros and cons of the situation and never made a video like that, because again, I feel like today there is a stigma when it comes to drones and drone pilots. I look at the issues I have when I do real estate. I have people come up to me all the time and they want to fight because I'm flying a drone and I'm doing nothing wrong. I don't need to add to it. And then you got some guy doing stuff like that. And anybody who believes he deserves a medal, I'm sorry, you don't deserve a medal for making a YouTube video. If you want to do kind things, if you want to do nice things for people or do something right, you don't need anybody to know that you did something right. Doing the right thing doesn't mean anybody has to know you did the right thing. You just do it.
Amen.
You just do it. You don't need recognition. That's what's being a good person. That's what we have law enforcement for. That's why we have public safety officials that approve things like that. And I guess I wish I would have articulated a little bit better in my video and said exactly that, because you got a lot of people, they don't understand. They just see the action. They don't understand the consequence. And when the investigation's all over with and this becomes an example, you'll retract your statements later. So
yeah, I think people have just there's a whole lot of things that people just don't understand. I mean, for instance, we sent a drone to a public safety or a police officer that did something really, really good with his drone, and I sent him an Evo because I liked what he did with his drone. It was just one of those things man, that was really cool. You were off duty, you did this, it was just awesome. Right. So I had to have an attorney drop paperwork that it was, it wasn't for anything and this and that.
He wasn't paying for any sort of publicity. Yeah. It was no strings attached.
It was so hard to just give this guy one just because, Autel went half on that. It was both of us, but it was so hard just to give that to him. And, things like this make it even worse because, some departments that might not have a program will say, oh, no, we saw that guy. We don't want our guy getting in trouble and doing stupid stuff. And, I agree. Just makes things that much harder.
I agree with that. So that's all the time I want to spend on talking about that situation, because I don't want to give it any more limelight than it already has. I mean, it's honestly at this point, it's not even worth discussing. I know a lot of people are here because they want to know more about the Evo 2. They're excited. People are hyped about this. It's looking like April 13th is the day that we're going to get that, shipping or going. Hopefully that's the case. Sort of interesting timing if you think about it, with the government announcing that stimulus checks are possibly going out at the same time. I mean, who timed it better, Autel or the government? I don't know. Maybe it's just an odd coincidence. Odd coincidence.
So I'm saying, it's great timing, though. I think a lot of people are actually using their checks to buy drones.
So I know we spent a lot of time talking about Autel, but I know there's been some articles flying around possibly speculating that DJI is going to pull out of the American market because of all the restrictions that the U.S. has hit them over their software with government units. What's your take and thoughts on that, since you're sort of around that?
It's DJI is in a really, really bad spot with the DoD right now, as far as it could, the whole that report came out. They could be taking data or whatever. In my opinion, I don't think they do, because I think the cost of transmitting all of this data would just be astronomical.
Right.
It's and the storage and all of that. The only positive thing that can come of it is it's a push for an American company to step up and do something. Skydio, I think they tried, and they made a really, really valiant effort, and maybe the Skydio 3 will be the one. The 2 doesn't quite check off the boxes. I like it.
Right.
It's okay. It doesn't check off the boxes. I mean, listen, if you take a Skydio 2 and a freaking Evo, and even a Mavic 2 Zoom or something, put them next to each other, the Skydio is not going to be the first one you pick. No matter what, it's probably going to be the last one.
Right. I would agree.
Do what the other ones do.
It doesn't check all the boxes.
Nope.
It's an amazing drone for what it does. It's got amazing obstacle avoidance. But if I want to fly something all the time or regularly, I'm going to probably choose the Mavic 2 Pro.
Probably.
As of right now, because I can't speak for the Evo 2 Pro or anything else, because I don't have them in my hand at the moment. But as of right now, I would probably say I would choose the Mavic 2 Pro. It's been my go-to drone for the better half of the year. You just can't beat the images, and nobody can tell me anything different as far as range goes. It's phenomenal. The obstacle avoidance is more than enough. If you're a capable pilot that is able to navigate efficiently, then the Mavic 2 Pro is more than enough. What more do you need?
Exactly. I mean, I think you need some. I like the idea of launching out of a mailbox on a truck for public safety.
Sure.
And that's great.
That is a great
The problem
idea.
is its functionality is too limited. So we're getting there, though. I mean, think about it. We didn't have drones 10 years ago. We're really far now.
John Cazell says, my Skydio 2 took off on its own today, almost flew into traffic. That's scary.
Oof.
That's really scary. But these are like the stories that I hear emerging. I mean, Skydio has great customer service. They are an interesting company. They really are. They have a great product. It's not perfect because it's technology. Let's face it, technology is not perfect. There are going to be situations where something's going to happen and we just can't control it no matter what we want to do. That's why it's always best we put our drones in the most successful situations. You put the drone in an area where it can succeed. But the Skydio, even with that, I get nervous with it sometimes, just in situations. I know we have one at the shop. We have an enterprise version of the Skydio at the shop that we haven't had a chance to play too much with. I'm going to eventually this week. So we've got a lot of toys actually just sort of sitting there, and we're just sort of, I feel like we're landlocked. Can't do much.
Want to talk about underwater drones for a minute?
Yeah.
So Chasing actually told us today we're going to have one of their new drones, the underwater one with the claw.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to have one of those on the way here probably within a week or two.
Okay.
A nice little T&E unit to go out and either catch fish or recover things from the bottom of the water or
So
whatever.
that'd be cool.
But
I've not been really impressed with the underwater drones. The little bit that I've played with them, the little bit that you and I have spent on a boat. I mean, obviously, you and I broke a $1,500 drone one day on a boat. In a matter of how long did it take us to break that drone? It took us about an hour.
well, 2 sandwiches, puking over the back. So yeah, an hour.
Yeah, about an hour. We broke a drone. So I mean,
Yep.
pretty much from my perspective is most underwater drones, these ROVs are just sort of meh. They're okay. They're nothing phenomenal. I hope that they get better. I really hope they get better. Let's just take a look at some of these drones, or these comments we're seeing in the section. So Drone Avenger says the 6K version has some awesome video Autel released. Autel did release a pretty epic video with the 6K drone. I'd say it was pretty impressive. I watched it. It was pretty crispy. I'm sure that Mr. Lon Denard watched it on his 8K television. Sure he did. He's got an 8K TV. Did you know that?
No, he's lucky to have one of those things
I
because
know.
the screen's made in China and they're not here. We're having trouble getting those as well.
I know. He's got everything. So let's take a look at some of these other questions. Obstacle avoidance is almost always shut off. Yeah. You know, I shut off obstacle avoidance often. I will tell you that the obstacle avoidance on the Evo 2 is actually really impressive. I don't know if you remember when we were in the desert, there was all these Joshua trees around. I thought they were cactus. Somebody corrected me, but they were Joshua trees, and I would go straight at them, you know, blazing speed, and this thing would just avoid them, which I thought was pretty cool. And it would do it in a manner that didn't seem incredibly robotic, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, actually, the braking is really refined, and the thing kind of it flies different than anything ever flown before. It's really the algorithms are balls on. Is great. I love it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see once we get these in our hands and we can start playing with them. Like I said, I'm really hoping for next week. I'm hoping that they keep true to that because, you know, the weather is still great. I mean, luckily enough, we're here in Florida. Our rules for social distancing are, you know, still got to maintain 6 feet, but they don't really give a shit if we go to the, you know, a place to fly. If it's just myself by myself, they don't really care. They just.
Did you show that I just sent you on the screen for everybody or no?
Yeah, I could show that. So basically, Zach just sent me. Looks like we're going to be getting this guy right here. So this is what's going to be coming next week. I don't know if it's going to focus. It's probably not going to focus. Let me drop my brightness down. So Zach sent me this. This is what we're going to be getting next week. Luckily, we've got some boats.
Close.
So,
hey.
There we go. So we've got some boats to take this out on. So this is the new chasing drone. So we'll hopefully get a chance to play with this and maybe recover, find some things, find some stuff. Who knows? We'll get into trouble with it, I'm sure. It's from 6 feet apart. So we'll see what's going on. But with everything, everything being shut down, I still just want to remind everybody too, just because things are shut down, there's areas that you probably want to fly. Don't do it. Don't post it online, because as soon as all this is over, somebody's going to shove a fine up your ass. So just don't be stupid just because you think you can. There's still eyes on us. Trust me. Let's try to lead by example during this whole epidemic. There is one place, though, I do want to fly that I think would be epic. It's not that it's a no-fly zone. It's just they won't let you take off or land from there. It's Bach Tower. Best of my knowledge, it's clear airspace. Bach Tower, it's in Polk County. It's closed right now. That would be an epic place to fly. I've always wanted to fly it, but you'll get chased off by guards if you take off there. They'll try to shoot you down, but there's really nothing they can do. I've seen drones fly around it, but they've not taken off. It's about a mile stretch to get to the tower. A beautiful, beautiful place.
Hey, Mr. Schaefer, the answer to your question is yes, just because they're coming in so soon, there's no reason to do a pre-order. So
yeah, so the pre-order at this point is, I think pre-order's over at this point. If you are ordering a drone, they're going to charge your card because we're going to have our units next week. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be asking, because probably some people are going to order and they're going to want to know, where am I at in line? Approximately, and you don't have to give me an exact figure if you don't want to, but approximately how many units are we expected to have in stock?
It should be well over 100. So
well
we have some spots available. Yeah, we had some cancellations, so we're hovering right about that number. So I don't see an issue if somebody ordered one, they'd have one.
Okay, so it's not like somebody is gonna, you know, order it and then not get their drone. They'll definitely get their drone then.
Absolutely hope it's that way. Yeah, it should be.
Okay.
You know, there's occasions like DJI, for instance. We ordered 500 Mavic Minis. We sold 562, and our first shipment was 100. A week later, it was another 100. So I mean, there could be a small delay between them, but I don't believe there is, but there could be. There always could be.
Lon, I'm gonna put money on the fact that you're gonna order a 6K because you're gonna be salivating with the crispiness, man. You're gonna be salivating from the crispiness of that footage on the 6K. I think that is gonna be the censor of the beat. Just seeing some things, we'll leave it as that. Seeing some things from that sensor and seeing some raw footage, it's pretty amazing. And having that 10-bit file is just, pushing those colors around and the dynamic range from that camera it's pretty impressive. I think that's going to be the camera a lot of people are going to want.
You can be the one exception. You buy the 6K from us. If you don't like it, after you fly it, send it back. We'll refund you, whatever. You're the one guy. We usually don't refund any activated or flown drones, but maybe we'll maybe you'll like it.
So let's take a look at the comments. Did you Lysol every drone? Well, we haven't got the units into Lysol yet, but we definitely can offer complimentary Lysol. Complimentary Lysol with every maybe we'll send some hand sanitizer. Could you imagine if they shipped it with hand sanitizer? You should be sanitizing your hands after opening any package. You should be sanitizing your hands anyhow. I know I do. My wife flips out every time something arrives.
These things have been in transit so long that I'm sure if it's got corona, it's dead anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully
they've been in transit since January, so it's all good.
So I'm going to, when I get it in hand, we're going to try to beat it up and push it around and see what happens. We're going to definitely try to do some, I don't know how we'll do it, but we'll try to figure out a legalized range test to really push this thing to its limits. I know how far I feel confident in flying the Mavic 2 Pro. One thing I want to see that the Evo should do is I would like to see better battery performance. One thing that the Mavic 2s really suck on is the batteries. I've gone through 4 different batteries with the Mavic 2 Pro. So,
well, I will tell you these here. These are made different. It's really weird. You can actually, I don't know if you can see it on here.
Oh, they got fans for heat.
There you go.
That's nice.
See, yeah. I've never seen this before. Where you can
not
actually
on
see through them
this
on a
size battery. I haven't seen. I've seen it on the Phantoms, but I haven't seen it on a battery of that size.
There's no supposedly these batteries don't puff. They don't. They're supposed to be a different kind of lipo. So we'll see what happens. But okay. I mean, the thing's freaking solid. I mean, it's just it's different. You guys will see. It's different.
All right. Well, there you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, Zach from DroneWorks. Zach, I'll let you go. I know you've got some stuff to do. We got a busy day at the office. Yep. I'll let you get to it, and I will talk to you later, man.
Sounds good. Oh, by the way, we can do a range test. All we have to do is have people along the way that have visual line of sight, so we'll be fine.
Well, we know enough of people that are willing to sacrifice. 6 feet apart, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Way more.
All right, man. I'll talk to you later, brother. Bye. Alrighty, guys. So that's Zach from DroneWorks. He's the owner. Like I said, a couple of years back, or I would say 2 years ago, I became good friends with him, and then he actually moved down. So he lives about 2 miles from my house. I could literally walk to his house if I wanted to, and then we have a shop just not far from here, where all the orders and everything coming on. So I wanted to bring him on because we couldn't nail down Gary to come on because of scheduling conflicts. Believe it or not, there are still a lot of people that travel from East Coast to West Coast still, even with all this stuff going on. So we couldn't nail him down to come in and have a chat. So that was the next best thing. So hopefully that worked. But we'll definitely be doing a range test for you guys. That is on the highest priority list. I know a lot of people hate range tests, but I'm going to try to make it as legal and safe as possible and try to get you the information that you want to see. Basically, the things that I really want to see is that image transmission signal, the breakup, and to make sure that the drone can maintain consistent control at distances that we already see the Mavic 2 Pro or the Mavic 2 Zoom achieve today. I think that's it. And then also I want to make sure that the noise that you get in video around congested areas is acceptable, because that's when it becomes the most dangerous, is when you're in an area when you have a lot of noise, wireless activity, things like that. We want to make sure that the drone doesn't break up. So we'll put it through hell. We're going to definitely put it through a lot of different paces and see how it does. So like I said, I should have a unit in hand hopefully next week is what it sounds like. Yeah. And we're going to avoid all drone police violations. How perfect is that? This beer lasted us, well, it's 2 beers actually. This beer lasted us an entire stream. That is absolutely amazing. So Joe, yep, the batteries did go up. They were $99 on the Evo 1. The Evo 2 batteries are $225. So I'm hoping with these Evo 2 batteries, I'm just saying that for $225, that battery gives you a hand job or a happy ending. I don't know. Better be the best batteries they've ever produced in their entire life. So there's that. So, hey, I'm new. So what happens to my Evo 1 I just bought it if remote ID goes into effect, Stacy Reese says. Stacy, as of right now, you're not in any jeopardy of not being able to fly. There's no direct course as to which way a remote ID is going to go. We still are roughly about 2 years away from them being able to implement anything effectively. So I don't think you're in any jeopardy of not being able to fly that new drone. And chances are by the time remote ID comes into effect, you're probably going to be ready to upgrade that drone anyhow. So I think you're going to be okay, man. You're going to be okay. I wouldn't even worry. I wouldn't even stress out about it right now. Don't worry about the little stuff. Yeah, it's, aerial imaging net, Carl. This is not too bad, man. I mean, it's warm, but, it goes right down the throat, right down the gullet. Well, it might be a COVID-free hand job, Joe. Maybe a COVID-free. B&H has a rugged bundle, 3 batteries, $19.99 or something close. Definitely a rugged bundle cost with the Evo. Do we know definitively the rugged bundle? It's not going to be $19.99. That's for sure. B&H always likes to mark their stuff up. That's even if they can get enough stock of that to be able to push it. We'll see what happens when they go. So what I'm gonna do is tomorrow when I get a chance, I'm gonna go up to the shop. I'm gonna take my Evo 1, connect it up to the Evo 2 RC, and I'm gonna connect my Evo 1 RC to the Evo 2 to see if they work together. If they do, great. I don't want to obviously open it up. It's a brand new drone, but I would love to see the internals to see if anything changed. I don't think there's gonna be any issues there. Exactly. By the point, so you're supposed to chug it like a baby bottle. You can. It's called the monster gullet. So it's so you get good grip in steering. It's it's ergonomic. You know how I am all about the ergonomic. They are leaving it up to the vendors to be able to implement their own pricing. Everybody's going to have their own competitive pricing, from what I understand, to a certain extent. We're just going to have to see actually how it hashes out or how it works. I can't speak specifically for like Adorama and B&H, but I know dealers specifically are going to have more of a laxed free-for-all. We'll put it that way. Let's see. Can you run Duke controllers? I don't know. I mean, that would be awesome if it'll let you. I don't know if they have. Rugged bundle, and the rugged bundle, the new case is they can hold up to 4 batteries, 1 in the drone, 3 on the side. So, and that's how the rugged bundles were on the Evo 1. You can hold up to 4 batteries. So, which is pretty awesome. I mean, the value is, there is definitely a value for it. Exactly. The Evo 2 battery is twice the capacity. You're getting 40 minutes of flight while you're moving. If you're hovering, if you're at a hover, it's 35 minutes. But if you're actually moving, you're going to get 40 minutes of flight with the Evo 2. They say 40 minutes. I use air quotes because we don't know. We'll have to check the battery as well, I guess. If you need more than 1 battery, then obviously get more than 1 battery. But I don't know why anybody's surprised with the price of the battery. If we look back at the Phantom 4 batteries, the Phantom 4 batteries were $168 for a long time. And I think they were a little bit more than that actually at one point. So the Phantom had some pretty expensive batteries, $225. I agree, it's a lot. Don't really know what's going on with that inflated price. I'll have to ask. I'm going to ask the VP directly and just be like, yo, what's with the price? What justifies this? Because I guess I didn't have pricing on the batteries while I was at CES to ask that question. So now I want to know. I wouldn't hold your breath on that California Phantom, not for a little while. I would say probably maybe 3rd quarter, possibly, if they decide to do it. That's if they decide to do it. I wouldn't say till probably the 3rd or 4th quarter, late 3rd quarter, early 4th quarter. B-Man, if you ever bring up V-Copter again, you're done. You're done. V-Copter is done. Never shipping. 50 minutes of flight, never happening. It's never shipping. The flight time champion, because it's never shipping, never coming. Don't even get me started on that. Don't even get me started. Can you swap ND filters easy like the Evo 1? So on the Evo 2, you can. It takes a little bit to get that initial filter off because there's not really any bite. But the prototype filters that I've seen for the Evo 2 have a bit of a roughness around it, so it makes it easy to get off. Now the Evo 2 Pro, the Evo 2 Pro is going to be easier to get a filter on and off than the Evo 2 8K, and that's just by design of the camera. So we'll have to see once we get them in hands. Autel still shows $19.99 for the rugged bundle and $199 for the battery, so I don't believe it. We'll have to see once everything hits people's hands. Again, they are still fulfilling orders. They haven't shipped anything themselves yet, so once everything ships, then we'll know definitively what the final pricing will be. We'll have to see. All right, so let's see. Yeah, VCop. I don't know why VCopter's up here. Ken, want to buy my Evo 1 with 4 Hawks? I have 2 Evos. I don't want 3 Evos. I have 2. What would be beneficial is Autel offers battery with more power. I mean, this is pretty much the most powerful battery that they've ever offered. It's pretty much one of the largest batteries you're going to find in a drone besides an M210 or an industrial drone. For a consumer drone, this is pretty incredible. Absolutely incredible, actually. Where do we find the new filters for the Evo 2? Aerial Imogen Net Carl asks. They are not available yet. When they are available, I'll be sure to post links. Freewell nor Polar Pro has officially announced them as of yet, but be sure to post links once we get them. You wouldn't need an ND2 because most of these have. Oh, Don Hammonds, thank you so much, buddy. Most of these are going to have. Like the Evo 2 Pro is going to have a variable aperture, so you're probably not going to need a very large ND filter if you go with Evo 2 Pro. Just saying. So we'll have to see. We'll know next week. I'm going to keep you guys posted. If you're not already, be sure that you are following me on Twitter because that is where I post a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. Instagram as well. Not as often as much anymore just because I haven't been out, but Twitter is where I sort of live. But any updates regarding the Evo 2, as soon as I get it in hand, that's where I will post that. I'll post it on Twitter or Instagram. I'll put it on the story. So be sure that you are following me over there if you want to check that out. The beer has slightly affected your speech. Go f yourself. Of course it has. Of course it has. Of course the beer. I have a speech problem even without alcohol. So I can't even pronounce my ing properly. You're not telling me anything new. Nothing new. I have a speech impediment. See? Even that was said pretty rocky. There you go. Is there a thermal rating for operation of the Evo 2? I'm sure there is. I haven't looked that far. Could I give a brief description of the Evo 2 to Evo 2 Pro? Sure, Paul. Evo 2 Pro is going to have a variable aperture, which means you can control the iris. So if this is the iris, I can open it to make it brighter, or I can close it to make it darker. The Evo 2 8K is going to have a smaller sensor, but larger megapixels, and the iris always stays at a constant aperture, which means you can't move the iris. So no matter if it gets darker or brighter, you can't control this. All you can do is jack the shutter speed. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. Those are the key differences, is just the camera. Otherwise, it's still the same airframe. There you go. Exactly, Paul. Like I said, sticks. But it always comes out like dicks. I don't know why. There you go. All right. So there you go. That's the Wednesday night stream. I hope you guys enjoyed. I apologize in advance for the audio issues that we had earlier. You never know. Again, we can only control what we control. But you know what I know next time is I'm going to give him a proper mic to connect to his MacBook. We're gonna outfit him with, some stuff. But again, like I said, in normal circumstances with social distancing, that wouldn't have happened. We would be able to do this in the same studio. But I digress. Alrighty. So there you go. There's the stream. Hopefully the audio sounded better this evening. I've put a lot of time and effort into making the stream quality the best I possibly can. I listened to you and obeyed. Just stop masturbating. Jesus Christ. Oh, Steve Carpenter with a super chat. Thank you, Steve. Thank you with a $10 super chat. That may get the, that gets the big one. That gets the big one. That gets the confetti. Thank you, Steve. Do appreciate it. It's really screwed up confetti. It's got a lot of slime on there. Watch out. Geez, still reveling over that comment. My God. Like I said, I try to keep these streams as informal as possible. I try to give you the most information as possible, and I let you guys just be you. You wanna yell at me, you can yell at me. You want to do whatever you want. This is the stream for it. This is an absolute free for all. And there he is. There he is. Look at that. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? There he is. There he is. We've got Drone Worship in the house. There he is. FPV.
FPV. There he is. Mr. Drone Worship.
Son of a gun. Son of a gun. FPV. My dude. My dude. All right, cool deal. So there you go, guys. I really appreciate everybody hanging out, the super chats. I appreciate all the supporters, the haters, all of y'all. You guys are good. I'm going to keep trying different beers. So this, like I said, this was Orange Blossom Breweries, and I really like that beer. It was sort of mellow. It was good. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan. I love you, Dan. Dan, I love you. It's okay. All right, man. It's fine. Dan's reminding me, you know, what he wants to do. It's fine. Totally fine. Next time I'm on a boat with you, you may not make it back. You're going to be like Carol Baskin's husband. You may not make it back. Rosario, I don't know what that is. I don't know. I'm assuming that you're having a spasm on your keyboard. Bless it anyways. Anyways, Easter is this Sunday. Hope you guys have a great day. I'm going to be putting out some non-drone related stuff. I'm going to be talking a little bit about some audio gear and equipment and some filmmaking stuff. But I am going to be actually putting out a full masterclass on content creation just with your drone. And it's going up on the channel next week. There's going to be a 3-part series for it, step by step of everything I use. So hopefully that can be useful to anybody who's not flying or not able to go out and fly. So there you go. Dan will float, Mike. You're right. Dan will definitely float. Damn it. Anyways, you know, Lon, I'm going to try some, I'll try some Founders. I'm a big fan of stouts. Like I said, I like porters and I like stouts. I'm not a big fan of Pilsner beer, but this wasn't bad for what it was because it's a Florida brewery. It was pretty good. Dan, I didn't say you were fat. You're fluffy. There's a difference, Dan. Blessed be, anyways. Damn my wife for making me watch Handmaid's Tale. All right, guys, that's going to do it. So we'll be back again next week. Friday night flights this week. I don't know. Maybe. Do we do Friday night flights this week? I am off next week. I could make one big episode. You guys want one massive episode, like a big ass episode, or you want like a smaller episode? I don't know. I'll have to see. Who am I featuring this week on Friday night flights? I never know. I never know who I'm going to feature. It just all depends on what speaks to me. How I've been picking the videos as of late is if I see something interesting or if I see somebody that I have not featured before. Okay? That's what I like to do. Is people I have not featured before is what I like to get on the channel. So there it is. Monty Python. God bless it. Hoppy Pisner. All right. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, as I typically say, stay original.
Some lessons I'ma learn. Usher said to let it burn, but my life isn't his concern. I don't toss and I don't turn. There's some lessons lessons I'ma learn. Usher said to let it burn, but my life isn't his concern. I am not the one, and I am not your Neo. I am not a hero, and I am not a hero, and I am not your one. Yeah, and I'm not your Neo, and I am not a hero. Yeah, and I'm not a hero. Yeah. Too many nights, yeah, not feeling right, yeah. Too many nights, yeah, not feeling right, yeah. I can't be still inside, still inside, still inside. I can't be still inside, still inside, still inside. Too many nights, yeah, not feeling right, yeah. Too many nights, yeah, not feeling right, yeah. I can't be still inside, still inside, still inside. I can't be still inside, still inside, still inside, yeah. For the people who've been holding me down. 2 times for the people who've been holding me down. That's 3 times for the people don't be knowing me now. I just move without a sound, and I just move without sound. And 1 time for the people who've been holding me down. And 2 times for the people who've been holding me down. And 3 times for the people I don't see them around. I just been moving around. I just been moving around. Yeah. Yeah. I'll react if I had to. Put some things in the past too, and don't let them distract you, but react if you have to.